the Minister Hildegarde Naughton, who at a very busy time is kindly making time for us from the Department of the Taoiseach. And basically, the Minister is going to give a keynote address now on Ireland's future strategy as a global MedTech innovation hub. Minister, please.
A riúisle is mór an onúr dom bheith an seo aniu ag an óchád speisialta seo agus buaitlim agus cóirdeachas a dhéanamh le Orla Martin agus Hildegarde bhfuil Portugal. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here in the Watershed this morning. It's great to be here at this gathering, which is taking place at a time, I suppose, when there's momentous events taking place here after the US elections, and with the day that's in it, I hope we won't have such momentous events here for our forthcoming general election, which I know will be called over the next few hours. So I want to, first of all, thank Asia Matters, all the team involved, ATU, for staging this important event here today. I see Mary Rogers here, who is always facilitating wonderful events like this within the heart of Galway City. And I want to also acknowledge the presence of Orla Flynn, President of ATU, Alan Dukes, Chairman and co-founder of Asia Matters, Martin Murray, Executive Director of Asia Matters, Samantha Hobbs, Director of Corporate Affairs. I never got to serve in the Dáil with Alan, but I know that's very much my loss and not his. And I also want to acknowledge my former colleague, Mary Mitchell O'Connor, a friend and colleague here in the room. As you all know, Ireland is committed to deepening and strengthening our relationships across Asia Pacific through our regional Global Ireland strategy. And the region encompasses countries with long-standing and very close connections to Ireland and others with which we've strengthened our links most recently. We have a real focus now on deepening those relationships with like-minded partners in pursuit of our shared interests and values. In parallel, we will continue to engage in respectful dialogue with our partners, which espouse different viewpoints, particularly on shared global challenges. As a small country, with the experience of conflict on our own island and having seen the benefits of this collective action in addressing common challenges, we are firmly committed to a rules-based international order. This commitment provides a foundation of our engagement right across the region. Shortly before his death 100 years ago, Michael Collins declared that our national aim was to find a path to freedom based on our country becoming a shining light in a dark world. And I think he could have made the same comment today in 2024. History does tend to repeat itself, and unfortunately today, again, we inhabit a dark world. To quote another Irish leader, Sean Lemass, once said that events in all parts of the world and new ideas and developments everywhere can be of direct and immediate interest to our own people. His vision was of an Ireland playing a role in a greater Europe, in the United Nations, and in the world at large. As he said, Irish people are citizens of the world as well as of Ireland. For me, that is the vision of global Ireland. So it's a path to follow in the footsteps of our forebearers by becoming citizens of the world in the 21st century. And it's an ambition to double that global footprint. That's not just about scaling up our agencies, our embassies, our staff, our budgets, though we are increasing all of these areas. It's also about doubling our presence and our influence around the world and doing things differently and doing them better. The Global Ireland 2025 project will come to the end of its life next year, and the incoming government, of which we hope to be part of, will have an opportunity to assess how the plan has worked and how Ireland can better advance our strategic interests and values on that international stage. We can be proud about what we've achieved in the last 4 years. Ireland has promoted our shared values of peace, justice, democracy, free enterprise, and human rights on the UN Security Council. We've opened 14 new missions, over 20 Ireland houses, including the enterprise agencies operating right across the globe, with more due to adopt the model also. This progress is really encouraging, and it is a strategy that is being implemented. I want to take a few moments to talk about what Ireland can offer the world. with approximately 500 companies exporting over €15 billion a year to markets all over the world and employing in excess of 45,000 people around the country, it's no wonder that Ireland is regarded as a leading global health tech hub. There's a large pool of talent to power the health tech sector, and along with research, academic and our clinical system, we've created a really rich ecosystem for health tech to grow and to thrive. Ireland, as has been said, is home to 14 of the top 15 MedTech companies, and over 50,000 people are employed in the sector. And this is something I say regularly. I know you may all know it in this room, but around Galway and particularly, it's something that we should be really proud of because we really have a valuable global contribution to make here as a small but powerful city in the west of Ireland. This makes Ireland the largest employer of MedTech professionals in Europe per capita. The sector continues to evolve, expanding its capabilities to include innovation, digitalisation and next generation technologies. Ireland's MedTech ecosystem provides multiple opportunities for collaboration, asset sharing, supplier relationships and co-investment. Its mature, integrated medical technology community spans cutting-edge industry, academic and clinical research groups and government agencies. The digital transformation of healthcare is probably the single biggest trend in healthcare globally. It opens up significant opportunities for our Irish companies, our entrepreneurs and the health service to collaborate, to co-create and to accelerate the adoption of new products and services which will enable the delivery of better care at lower cost with a better experience and quality of life. Of course, I couldn't let this occasion go without mentioning Galway and what it has to offer. Our multinational companies have been based in Galway for many years, and the pharmaceutical and medtech sectors are particularly important to our local economy here, with Medtronic, Boston Scientific being among the big employers. In addition, Galway is home to 4 of the 5 leading global ICT companies, IBM, SAP, Oracle and Cisco. Galway has now firmly emerged as an internationally recognised medtech hub, mentioned alongside San Francisco, Berlin, Minneapolis, Singapore. 8 of the world's top 10 8 of the world's top 10 medtech companies have a physical presence here in Galway. A huge part of this success is down to the quality of the graduates produced by both at the Atlantic Technological University and the University of Galway. In addition to this, Dr. Flynn will agree with me, and I know is the cooperation that there is here between academia and the sector here in Galway. For instance, last year I launched the new Masters in Evidence-Based Future Healthcare at the University of Galway. And also last year I was in ATU with Dr. Flynn, launching Europe's first end-to-end sterility assurance postgraduate. These are but just 2 examples of our third level institutions and MedTech working hand in hand. And it's a far cry from the town and gown riots of centuries ago. Speaking of the gown, in further good news for Galway, my colleague Minister Patrick O'Donovan recently announced that the ATU, South East Technological University, and the University of Galway will introduce new pharmacy programmes, which I know Orla made reference to, doubling the number of pharmacy training programmes here in Ireland. A full rollout of this will provide more than 150 additional pharmacy graduates per year. University of Galway will also introduce a rural and remote graduate entry medicine stream that's aimed at addressing the shortage of GPs in rural Ireland. A full rollout of this will provide 48 additional medicine places every year. This is further proof of the quality of our education that is available in our region, which is really important and something that I've worked on with the Taoiseach when he was Minister for Further and Higher Education. Ireland is centre stage within the EU, which I hope you agree makes it an ideal location to invest in and from which to export. A few examples will demonstrate that. Ireland is part of the European Research Area, which means Irish researchers can contribute significantly to global research and development. The European Innovation Scoreboard, published annually by the European Commission, showed that in 2023, Ireland was ranked as a strong innovator with performance of 115.8% of the EU average. Irish participation in EU-funded research attracts international research talent to Ireland. Participation in EU research programmes also promotes and demonstrates Ireland's research capabilities on the world stage. In closing, and as I referenced earlier, a general election will be called here in the next few hours, but I can say this with confidence, that Ireland will always be outward looking, dynamic and open for business. And I'd like to congratulate you all. I see John Power here, such a role model for up and coming enterprises, and I know someone who the IDA, and when we're talking about what Galway is capable of, it's a real success story, and I want to congratulate you for what you've done, John, here for this area, and not to mention healthcare and saving lives. And these are really inspirational stories. We have so much talent here. We don't do the American thing here too much in Ireland, where we, sing our own praises, but we should be very proud of what we've achieved here, this ecosystem in Galway. And from a government point of view, we want to continue that close relationship with academia, with the sector, and make sure that we're constantly evolving and moving in what are very challenging global times. So I wish you every success with your conference. I'm sorry I cannot stay very long. I have a number of engagements as well as knocking on doors. So if I do knock on your door, I'll ask now in advance for your support. Thank you very much.